I have a theory that Gary Gensler will never go after Bitcoin and that he has a secret agenda behind the asset.
Glenn Lambo. I'm such a degen.
Welcome to Degenny from the blockchain, where we defy logic. And in this episode, I'm just going to go through what I think Gary Gensler and the SEC and his friends are doing regarding Bitcoin versus altcoins versus securities versus commodities, and this whole thing that he has said that all crypto, aside from Bitcoin, are securities. And just as a reminder, if we go here back in February, there's an article here from Crypto Slate and many others that show SEC Chair Gensler confirms everything other than Bitcoin is a security, implications and analysis. Gensler's statement back then reflects the SEC long-held view that many crypto are securities under U.S. law, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, we know that. We know that, right? But why? But why? So let's go back full screen here so we can get a reminder with the topic bar of what we're talking about. Gary Gensler in the SEC seemingly is going after every crypto other than Bitcoin through enforcement from just crypto entities. They're not actually going after these coins or the company behind the coins except for Ripple. But anyway, why isn't he touching Bitcoin? He says Bitcoin is well, maybe he didn't say it's a commodity, but he says it's not a security, so you can assume Bitcoin is a commodity in this case, okay? And what is Bitcoin? It is a trustless or a decentralized ledger, distributed ledger technology where anybody in the world can send finances cross-border in virtually no time and for virtually no cost. Isn't that a threat to the banks? I mean, isn't that a threat to the banks? That's why we see people like Jamie Dimon and the JP Morgan CEO and other financial institutions, legacy institutions, come after Bitcoin in the public eye and talk negative against it because it's a threat to their institutions, their financial institutions. So if Gary Gensler is the chairman of the SEC, and we assume that he gets paid by a lot of big bankers and maybe high influential people in politics, why would they want Bitcoin to succeed? Why would they want the threat to these big banks and legacy finance to succeed? Here's my theory on this. Gary Gensler and the big banks know Bitcoin is here to stay. And they know that there's going to be another parabolic run for Bitcoin. And they know it'll be six figures someday. Heck, they're probably going to push it up there. So why not, in the public eye, even though Bitcoin is a threat to the banks, it's all about making money anyway, right? And the banks, let's face it, they're huge institutions. They have tons of money. They're not going to go anywhere, right? They're always going to be there. Somebody once said, I forget who it was, but in the Olympics, you have your track and field, you have your gymnastics, you have your basketball, these very, very highly watched sports. But then you have your archery and your fencing and your synchronized swimming and stuff like that, that is only watched barely once every 4 years, okay, in the Summer Olympics. So there's always going to be room for legacy finance and traditional banking systems, is my point. So these guys aren't going anywhere. So here's how I'm going to wrap this all up. Gary Gensler, the SEC, and all of his big banker friends that pay him to do stuff like what he's doing with altcoins and other things, just enforcement actions against crypto. They know that Bitcoin is here to stay and that it's going to be six figures someday, and they're just packing their bags, including Gary Gensler. He's packing his Bitcoin bags, and he's going to talk nice about it because he knows he can't touch it. And the SEC cannot touch Bitcoin. So they're just going to pack their bags secretly, like you always hear when something big is in the news and the headlines right here. In the background, what we don't see is what they're actually doing. And I think that Gary Gensler is being nice to Bitcoin in the public eye, saying it's not a security. And I don't believe he's going to go after Bitcoin. I simply think that he knows it's here to stay, a threat to the big banking system, but the big banks just don't care because they're still going to be here. There's still going to be people that use them, even when Web3 is adopted, even when Bitcoin is in the six figures. They just want to get their bags packed before it gets to six figures. So they're simply just going to not go after Bitcoin, even though it's a threat to the legacy financial system. Lioness here keeps moving the computer. Hey, baby. And that's my take. I think that Gary Gensler is buddying up to Bitcoin in the public eye because he knows that he can't go after it, and he knows that it's going to be six figures someday and be here to stay. So you might as well pack your bag secretly and pretend like you like it and that you don't care that it's going to be a threat. Like, why would he say Bitcoin is not a security? Bitcoin's fine. You know, all other crypto is a scam. Hucksters and Ponzi schemes, except Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is your number one threat to the entire legacy financial system, traditional financial system. So why would you be talking positively about Bitcoin and seemingly not having ever or will go after it? Bitcoin, that is. Because you can't, obviously, but because they're going to be packing their bags, Gary Gensler included, because it's all about making money. And when it comes six figures, they're going to dump on all of us. So just make sure you're front running those big guys, okay? Because you're in crypto, you're watching this channel, you know what's good, and you know how to play the game. As Piano Matty B likes to say, we're all playing the same game as our psychopathic leaders or something like that. So zoom out and enjoy the game or something like that. Shout out to Piano Matty B. Shout out to you for watching this video. Leave your comments below. What do you think about all this? Is Gary Gensler really loading up on Bitcoin because he knows it's here to stay even though it's a threat to the legacy financial system? Let me hear you in the comments below. Always do your own research because this is not financial advice. It's just my blockchain reaction. Thank you for watching. Hey, thank you for watching to the very end. And before you go, please subscribe to the channel, crank up that like button, drop a comment and share the video. If you want to join me on the VEUIT platform, the Web3 streaming platform, I'm going to migrate all my content over there and create new content on the blockchain. My referral link is in the description below.